Hi, I'm Sara, and this is Nadia, and we are here at Club Pilates Innenstadt in Hamburg. And today's focus is going to be the 100. And so we are going to use the reformer to perform exercises in all different positions around the reformer to help us find a deeper connection and maybe a different type of connection to our 100 exercise. Okay, so the exercises that we are going to go through are not necessarily any of the exercises that you would do all in a row, but instead they're to give you ideas of how you can start to find the 100 connection in the different exercises or use the different exercises to help you establish a deeper connection with your 100. So to start, we're going to have Nadia do just the full classical 100 variation with the reformer so that she gets a feel for it in her body. And then we'll start to translate that to other exercises. So if you want to come onto your bats, and we'll have her start with her legs loaf and a small Pilates V. So heels together, toes apart, skip the inner leg connection. She's going to reach back and grab at the small loops in each hand. So she's going to find the connection with her arms first, running the arms to the ceiling. And then she's going to lower the arms as she lifts the legs, find that support through her center. So you go ahead and lift and you're ready. Good. And then you can pump the arms, inhaling for 5, exhaling for 5. So in the 100, we have a lot of different connections going on, as you know. So we're really focusing on her finding the reach from her center. So her core is really working to stabilize the pelvis, and the connection of the arms and legs are helping to connect deeper to the center as well. Go ahead and come back down. We won't keep it there for too long. And you can hang the loose set up. So now she has the reach through her arms, connecting the back or the arms to the back and then the back to the center, and then the reach of her legs with the oppositional reach of the belly. And now we're going to try to find that in different exercises. Okay, so now we are going to move into footwork. So we've changed the foot bar position to the low bar position so that she has more connection with her deep core, especially the lower abdominals. So I'm going to have her lay back, and I have her on a lighter swing as well. And then she's going to come into a small Pilates V. And then when she's ready, she can just start to press out and in. And now we have the connection of her feet with the foot bar. And this is helpful to connect the legs to the center even more so she can really feel the oppositional reach. So she's reaching into the foot bar to establish a deeper connection with her deep abdominals. So she's finding the support with the belly to support the legs. And now she's imagining that if the foot bar was not there, she still have this same connection to the springs without the foot bar and when she's doing a normal 100, maybe on the mat. Great. And then she go ahead and come in. Right. Now we're going to do 2 feet and strap variations. So we'll do lower and lift, and then we'll also do our short spine variation. So she's going to come onto her back and then place your feet on the lawn loose. Okay, so again, she's going to find the small Pilates B, so that inner thigh connection, which travels out to our pelvic floor and deep abdominals. I'm going to have her lower and lift the legs. You could go on a lighter swing here as well to really help establish that core stability. And then let's go ahead and have you lower down to a point you can still maintain that abdominal connection. So if she loses the connection with her pelvis and abdominals and she's gone too far, and so she's going to hold this here and then really press into the arms. Good. And then if she wants, she could add in a chest lift here and reach to the arms and pump the arms up and down. So now instead of the foot bar, we have the straps. So she still has the feedback from the loops and from the springs, but it's more unstable. So she has to work harder to support her legs than she would maybe with the foot bar. And then the next step would be to remove the straps and do the full 100. Great. Okay, so now we're gonna have you lower the headrest down so you can bring your legs up a little. All the way flat. Great. And we're going to get ready for short spine. So still in a small Pilates B, her arms are her anchor here. So again, that arm back connection, which then connects us to our center. She's going to really utilize that as her legs go up and back. So when you're ready, she's going to hinge at the hips, articulate up, keeping tension into the ropes and using her arcs. So she's coming to a shoulder stand position. Great. And then from here, again, we'll hold this for a minute to feel the connection. So try not to move the carriage. And she's anchoring into the arms and she's breathing into the back body, the side ribs, just as you would do your 100. And then she's reaching through the arms. And now typically we think about a hip extension here. And I want her to still feel that, but I want the emphasis to be more on the deep abdominals and her legs reaching from the center. So it's like her 100 is in this inverted position and she's using the connection of her abdominals to reach her legs even higher. And then go ahead and bend the knees. Good. And then roll back down, leaving the feet where they are to get a little hamstring stretch. Good. And then we'll go ahead and lower the feet and press back out. Nice work. Go ahead and bend the knees and you can remove your feet from the straps. Okay, so now Matt is on her side. So we are going to do side lying hands and straps. And so she's going to take the front loop at her top hand and her legs, small Pilates feet could also do this in parallel, but we're really finding that midline connection. And then she's bringing the arms directly above the shoulder. And then she's finding the connection here between the ribs and the hips. And then I want her to start by pulling the hand to the hip and then turn the palm behind you and then float the arm forward in front of the body and then back in line with the hip. So the same flexion and extension of the shoulder, really again connecting to her lats, to the back body, which then connects us deeper with the front body. And she has to really work to stabilize the legs and she's reaching out in one direction with the feet and then holding the belly in to stabilize as she reaches in the opposite direction with her arms. And then she couldn't play around with the plane of motion and make this a frontal plane movement of the arm. So go ahead and take the arm up to the ceiling and back in line at the hip, feeling the lats and the connection of the arm to the back in a different way. Still feeling the oppositional reach between the legs and the center of the body. Great job. Okay, go ahead and the elbow in and release. Okay, so now she's transitioned to a seated position to experience front rowing from the hips. So you're going to take small loops in each hand and bring them down by the hips. So we're going to start low with the palms to the carriage. She's going to find length in her spine here. And her legs could be small Pilates feet, similar to the 100. And she's going to exhale, reach the arms forward. She pulls the belly back. So this oppositional reach here. And then she's going to slowly lift the arms and slowly lower. So we're changing the movement of the rowing just a bit to mimic the arm movements of the 100. She's really feeling the oppositional reach between her deep abdominals and then her arms and also legs. And she's controlling the movement down and up. This is also a really nice area to breathe into the back body, into the back of the ribs, the side of the ribs, the same expansion that you want to feel happening in the 100 position. Go do one more that's all the way up and circle the arms down to the side. Okay, so next we are going to take her to standing on the reformer for elephant. We're going to do a bit of a different variation of elephant. So I'm going to have her basically halfway on the carriage, a small Pilates V, and then she's going to plant her legs, her ankles to come to a lifted position with the heels. And then from here, she finds connection to her deep abdominals and she's finding, again, the oppositional reach. So arms and legs are reaching one direction, belly is reaching the other. And then she's going to inhale, send the carriage back as far as she can keep connection here. And then bring it right back in, exhale. Good. So as she does this, I want her to imagine she's in that supine position, coming into her 100 and floating her legs up from the floor. It's that same connection it is needed here through her center to bring her legs underneath her. And then she can feel this connection when she takes her 100 to the mat. And then she's also feeling the connection here with her arms on her back, just as she would, she were pumping her arms in the 100 position. Nice work. Go ahead and come in and then lower all the way down to the All right, so now we are going to move into a prone position on the long boss for pulling straps. So when you're ready, you can go ahead and lay flat on your belly. And then she's going to grab the ropes. So wherever you're comfortable with the ropes for tension. I'm going to have you scoot back a little bit once you have the ropes. A little more. Okay, so we're gonna connect her heels to get her toes apart as that's comfortable for you. And we still want to feel a long lower back here, belly's connected. And then I'm gonna just have her start a pull and fast movement with the arms. And then you're gonna stay neutral for now. So just a long spine. So she's gonna stay long from her heels to the top of her head as her arms move. And again, this is typically an exercise where we think about a lot of back body work, which it is. But I want her now to think about the focus of the front of the body as well and imagine that her or feel that her deep abdominals are supporting the legs in this position. So her belly lifts up away from the box and she's feeling that deep connection to support her legs, but maybe feel it in a little different way, making sure the low back still stays lengthened. And then she can add in the thoracic extension or the swan lift as she comes up. And imagine that this is her 100 in a prone position and almost like a backwards 100 in an extended position. Now keep the spine lifted as you lower and lift the arms. So still feeling the connection of the belly, the oppositional reach of the legs in one direction, head in the other, and then the connection of the arms to the back here. Great. I'll go ahead and relax down. You can hang those loops back up. Hey, so now that we worked our way around the reformer in different body positions and have activated front, back body, side body, we're going to connect it all together and maybe find our 100 in a little different way, feel connections maybe in a different way. So we'll start by having her do the 100 of her hands in the straps, just like you did at the beginning. So she could compare this 100 to the one that we did to start. So she's going to find the inner thigh connection, heel connection, deep abdominal connection. And so, just like you did with that elephant position, I want you to feel that connection that you have with the elephant to help you lift the legs as you lower the arms and lift the chest. Whenever you're ready, good. Let's she's pumping from here, feeling supported, front body, back body, side body. So, everything's working together. And she's completely supported in this position, finding connections that we made throughout the other exercises. Nice. Go and flip the arms up. How'd that feel? Good. Good. More supportive ends first. Aha, that's great. So now I'm going to give her the opportunity to feel this without the straps at all. So she's responsible now for making these connections in her body. She doesn't have the feedback of the straps or the springs. So she's going to feel that she has the support of the fafar or the straps to support her legs. And then again, the feedback of the springs and the straps for her arms, all while pulling it deep with the abdominals. So you ready? Arm to Dova. She's going to lower the arms, lift the chest, lift the legs up, and then pump from here. So she's reaching it opposition, feeling that she still has the support of the springs for both her arms and legs. That looks really good. Good. And then go ahead and lower back down and relax. Nice job. So this was our series, finding the 100 connection all the way around the reformer. So hopefully this inspired you to also take this concept into your practice and see where you can find the different connections to the 100 in different exercises that you practice. So thanks for joining us.